Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts, Stocks, and Crypto TA live stream. Today is Tuesday, December 27th, 2022. It's about 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is going to be the last live stream of 2022. What a dynamic year it has been. So also for stocks, Forex trading, this is the last week for trading, charting, and also for streaming. So let's get started here with the weekly news. In terms of stock earnings volatility, we have one major company, CALM, Cal-Maine Foods, reporting their earnings. Economic data releases, we have wholesale inventory data, pending home sales, home price index, unemployment claims, and the Chicago PMI, as well as more data, natural gas inventories, oil inventories as well. But some of those are the highlights. And we have some additional current news and events, some US, Europe, Asia news. So the big news last week with crypto was that FTX crypto exchange executives, the other two executives, they pleaded guilty in USA federal court last week. In other news, the UPS, the shipping company, Global Shipping, they are raising their delivery fees today due to high inflation costs. Also, the Keystone Oil Pipeline, which had a spill this month, is pending reopening on Wednesday. Over the holiday weekend, China relaxed their COVID travel quarantine requirements for the international travelers. In Europe, in the UK, businesses were disrupted by union worker strikes in rail, health, and border staff sectors. Russia announced that they're going to ban the sale of oil to countries imposing price caps, which probably includes G7 countries. In the USA, Southwest Airlines canceled an additional thousands of flights this past holiday weekend due to frozen weather conditions, and there are government investigations pending. Other airlines had to cancel flights as well. If you haven't heard, there is a terrible, terrible strong winter storm in the northeastern United States, generally in that New York area, where there's just very strong amounts of cold weather, snow, ice, freezing temperatures, very bad right now. And before that, the storm hit the southern and upper Midwestern USA, which caused severe tornado damage and power outages. So basically, that explains all the weather problems people are having right now in the past week or two. Okay. So that's kind of the general news that's going on for stocks this week. And so before we get into the market, there is a new feature that TradingView has released, and this is a bit of positive news, to be honest, because if somebody ever wanted to practice day trading, swing trading, Forex, stocks, or crypto, now we can do that in real time with bar replay trading. So this is a practice tool. Previously, bar replay is just literally a rewind of the candlestick bars on different time frames, and I checked the account types. I believe we need to have at least Pro, Pro Plus, or Premium account types to access the full features of bar replay of intraday data for intraday day trading. But now they added a actual trading element to the bar replay. So now we could practice in real time. And so this is a significant feature. It's different from paper trading because previously bar replay, we can only watch with our eyes. And I used to do manual in a Word document, just manual trading. But now it's actually logged in. You get 1 unit of long or short in only the viewable session. And so there are the rules here. I tested it before and it still works pretty well. So it's separate from paper trading. It's market orders only. For stocks and crypto, it's the default quantity is 1. There's only one quantity. For Forex, it's 1,000. The currency PNL is the symbol currency of the country setting. Trading is available immediately, so you can't pause it basically. If at least one trade is made, it's active. The trading console for bar replay, it's optional. You don't have to do trading in bar replay. And then at the end, there's a little pop-up of the PNL. So I still think this is very significant because if you know other exchanges, you have to pay for this premium or it's a premium service that's paid or it just doesn't work well. So I'm very, very happy to see this feature. And thank you so much, TradingView, for implementing the bar replay for so that traders and um, educators, anybody can just log in and practice. It's beautiful. So I'll do a little bit of this bar replay trading practice at the end of the stream. Also in other news, TradingView Desktop 2.0 has arrived, as well as other data. And then we have also the Mine social media feature. It's beautiful. There's so many wonderful features on TradingView. It's just wonderful to see. Thank you so much, TradingView. All right, let's get into the TA now. So we're going to start off. Hello and welcome if anybody's watching right now. We're going to start off on S&P 500. It has been quite the bearish reaction for almost a week now. Over a week. 2 weeks. Bearish reaction was starting out with this S&P 500. So let's go ahead and understand what happened. So last stream, I was saying we have the strong resistance about 385, around 385. And so we tested that, we back tested, hit the ceiling of the resistance, the gap fill, and we rejected down from that. So why did this happen? It's basically all the news I just mentioned, but it was triggered by the FOMC raising the interest rates by 50 basis points and saying that they're going to keep the interest rates high for 1 year straight. Also, there's a lot of big banks saying, kind of hinting about what they're going to do, meaning short. So people just shorted, right? Let me make sure bar replay's off here. Okay. So that's basically what happened. In the weekly, we started to see these finally starting this pullback on the weekly. It's not even oversold on the weekly. The daily is not even oversold. It's just oversold on some of these intraday time frames. What I'm looking at right now, I was looking at today earlier this morning, was the potential double bottom area for S&P 500, 377. Certain stocks today, they just folded over and just got crushed by the bears. But at least for now, in this 1 hour chart, we're holding between these two levels, 377 and 387. So I'm going to put this into a little bit of a parallel channel rectangle for next time. We can kind of just keep tabs on that and see if that's going to hold in that area. Even the 15-minute on the S&P 500 is not even quite super oversold like it was on the 22nd of December. So that's why we could definitely have a bear crash fold down. It's definitely possible. So, you know, people of what's happening in the whole world right now globally, not just USA, is there's a lot of potentially negative events or just lack of buyer demand right now. So we could see that crash pull back down to 378 or 375. That needs to hold. If that doesn't hold, then it's probably just bear market downtrend for possibly a month. It's definitely possible. So that's just one thing to watch out for. If it does happen to bounce up to the upside on this consolidation and it bounces up, maybe 388 to 390 would be that resistance point. Let's go to QQQ. Tech stocks got pretty battered today to the downside. The only good thing that I can say is after this pullback, we had a little bit of a dead cat bounce, like I was saying last stream, and then pull back to the downside. The only good thing is we are approaching support levels 260, 253. So we're hit my blue target of last two streams of 270, and the additional downside support down here is 260 and 254. So we're looking at these numbers. To the downside, you can see this bearish, super bearish target down here around 234 is actually definitely possible. The only thing is, in the intraday cycles, we're below the 618. We almost hit the 786 level. It's hard to see. I'll put it in yellow. The 786 and the 0.88. So those are the two spots that I marked. And we're watching that right now. 4 hours, get into the oversold range, but we can see here that every rejection is a bearish setup to the downside. So until we get significant support, which on the hourly, maybe we're going to have, but we're going into the Asian session right now, into the European session, and then we're going to have the next American session. So if we lose this support overnight, it would be interesting to see how far is it going to go down, number one. And then number two, are we going to get another dead cat bounce for a little scalp play if somebody's a long day trade? But if somebody's a longer term swing trader, I mean, we did have about, if we measure from top to bottom, we're already down about 10% on the NASDAQ for the past 2 weeks. So it's already been shorted down quite a bit. It's just we haven't hit that oversold flash crash bottom, which I'm watching out for. Whenever that happens, one of these days. 260, 256 to resistance, 267, 271. Try to get a bounce going on. All right, let's move on to DIA, Dow Jones. Dow Jones, the only thing good about Dow Jones here is on this 5200 EMA, we still have the golden cross, but if this downtrend continues, that golden cross can basically get canceled. It's going to take some time, several months, to see what's going to happen with the price action here. And these blue dots are marking the support and resistance. So if we change to a line chart, we hit our 50 EMA of 327 and bounced up to the resistance target of 332. So technical analysis works to get some price levels so we can get a forecast of where the price might go in the future. But future results are never guaranteed. And it's for stocks, it's very news-based right now. It's very reactionary. So the market might not even have a chance at recovery, even just from a psychological and weather standpoint. We just kind of need the weather to calm down and warm up so people can go back to normal life. Businesses can start actually conducting business and not get shut down or frozen or destroyed. Property damage, right? That's a real problem for businesses during some weather seasons. So if we look at Dow Jones right here, we can see we have our multiple support levels at 328 and 325. I'm going to erase the past ones. And so we have our 200 EMA as well. So I'll just leave those for markers for support and resistance. And we're just bouncing around our 236 level. If it's going to go bearish, low, high, low, high, low. If it's a double top, right, 334, we got to watch out for that. If we double top down to the downside, 322, even further, 315, $314. If we lose this, right? So this is a key level of support right now, 326. Why? Because it's our 200 EMA on our 4 hour, okay? We've tested every EMA on the way down, right? We tested the 50 on intraday, we tested 100, we tested 200, and now it's holding for now, which is the daily 50 EMA, right? So probably the last spot we're going to try to hold on DIA before the bulls throw the towel in and the bears start to really attack is this right here, 324. If we really lose 324, the market will have a significant psychological reaction at that level. Okay, let's move on. Oil. What's going on here with oil? Well, we had this double bottom that I marked several weeks ago on the early December stream, because there's a bunch of gray lines here, saying that this could be a potential support level area, and then it was. So sometimes technical analysis and then watching that, setting alerts or watching for potential turnaround spots sometimes pays off. So this trade particularly bounced 10%, but we're approaching this 200 EMA resistance on the daily. And earlier there's that Russian news that they're going to impose the ban on the sale of oil to those countries that are imposing the price caps. So that will have an effect on US oil. This price is a little bit data delayed. And we are in this rising wedge. So if this rising wedge can hold, that would be nice. But if not, there's a pullback down to where 69.15. And just like the Dow Jones, if this someday folds over, I'm watching for this lower support line, 69.68, right here on market for next time. If we lose that and it breaks the downside, then oil future shorts and the shorts are probably going to attack that to the downside, right? It isn't that overbought region on the 4 hour, the 1 hour pull back a little bit. Starting to upcross, see if we can hold that. But that's what I mean. That support level around that 67 level could be that support, and the resistance around the 72 area. Let's go to UNG, see what's going on here. We got some natural gas data and US oil gas data popping up this week. In the daily, quite the crash, right? We can see here that UNG had quite the crash from 21 all the way down to 15. It's not quite super oversold yet. However, on the intraday, it is gaining momentum here on this 4 hour. So I'm watching for maybe a potential turnaround bounce, at least up to maybe 1750, but that's data dependent on this week's natural gas data. It could go either way. If the data is really bad or something really bad happens, we can see the immediate target is 1532, 1441. We look to the left side for some additional. There's not much. There's not much. Okay, some activity in this $14, $15 range. But it has been oversold, selling off for quite some time now. There was a little bullish divergence bounce here of about 6%. So shorts and longs taking interest in that side. On the daily, it hasn't bounced significantly. So if it's going to happen, it needs to bottom out. It needs to find the support here at some point, bottom out, and then try to get a bounce up to maybe 17, maybe even piercing the $18 range. Let's move on quickly to gold and silver. I'm going to say about gold and silver is it's still in the uptrend, looking like early Dow Jones. It's losing a little bit of momentum on this daily. And on the weekly, you could see somebody's taking some of their profit right now. It's starting to just barely, basically lose this momentum here just for a week or two. But these are shooting stars on the weekly, so I will be a little bit wary of that. It is starting to lose the momentum on the daily, but it's still in the 4 hour uptrend. So it just might pull back a little bit. It might not crash completely. So we have this golden up cross. It's still in the uptrend, but it's very tight in this range. So mark that for next time. We could use a measure and move, measure that actual box that I just drew, the parallel channel. And what is that? It's about 2.5%. So if we lose that 2.5%, that'll bring us down to about 164.42 on the GLD ETF. And that's the support we marked last time. It's not really overbought or anything. So it's just trending up. So hopefully the dips hold on this. And we could try to pierce up to maybe the 170, upper 170 ranges. But if it doesn't, it might lose a little bit of steam in terms of the momentum. Silver, same thing. It's golden crossed for a couple days, almost 2 weeks now. And the measure move of this large rectangle down here, let's see what that was. That's 15%. So it's already hit almost that 15% range. So maybe about 1 or 2% plus or minus. But this thing is going here. Hello, welcome. Thank you for watching on YouTube and TradingView and Twitch. So we're just going to see where is this kind of resistance going, right? There's resistance right here at $23, but that's all. There's a former resistance as well. So if silver is not going to penetrate to the upside and go sky high blowout to the upside to new highs for 2023, you might have a little bit of a pullback action going on here all the way to 21 or $20. So just kind of mentally be prepared for that. And let's look at a couple stocks because we had a lot of serious stock action. So I might go a little bit longer on this stream. I'm just going to look visually. So the big stock in the news was Tesla. And these are old charts from education. But Tesla, the news you keep seeing everywhere on news outlets is that Tesla stock has been the oversold it's almost ever been for the 4 years, almost 3.5 years, right? On the daily, we have not had this low RSI of 13. What's the exact number? 15, 16 for a very long time. The weekly, so this is where they get that. On the weekly, it's the lowest RSI of Tesla in the history of Tesla. The problem, though, is it's more of a fundamental problem, in my opinion. It's not really a technical issue only because we knew we were in the downtrend for a year now. So this is not a surprise to me. This is what happens when people are kind of holding, and then you get stopped. People get stopped out. The shorts attack, put options attack, futures, mental psychology. Well, not the futures of this, but you know what I'm saying. A lot of people are just in pure bearish mode. Futures attacking, put options attacking Tesla, shorts attacking Tesla, people getting stopped out to the downside. And then what is Elon Musk himself doing, right? So that those are all the factors that's happening. And they have fundamental issues about what's going on in China, what's going on with their factories, what's going on with their output, etc. But you can see here, it's a clear downtrend. Once we lost this $200 range, we tested the 200 EMA of 183, and then it's all downhill from there. So for me on Tesla, I'm not really interested in Tesla until at least on price action, I see a level of support. AKA, I'm looking for something like May, June, July. If I can copy paste this blue box right here after or during the earnings, which is going to happen, it's going to happen on a month from now. January 25th is the Tesla earnings, next earnings call and report. So we're going to see what happens in 1 month, right? So if this kind of pattern can develop in 1 month where the price keeps crashing down all the way to 76, $100 is that psychological. We lose that 100, we're going to $88. It could go all the way down to $50 if it's really bad. But I'm saying I'm looking for the support. Where is it? Question mark. It's not there yet on the daily. If somebody's a swing trader investor, it's not there yet. So for 4-hour setups, there are a bunch of bearish setups. It has been very, very overextended to the downside. It's negative 61% more than that. So it's a very, very oversold stock right now, 65% to downside. So what I'm looking for is maybe on the intraday side for a swing trader, there might be something price action like in the blue circle, late November, early December, where we get a little bit of dead cat bounce, one more attempt down by the bears, and then it's a perfect setup for a long bounce right into earnings or after earnings. So just Tesla getting very beaten down right now. It's not that surprising because if we look at a daily chart, it was in a death cross since October 10th. So any trader who or technical analyst who's looking at this, it's a death cross. This is not surprising. You just have capitulation. After the capitulation's over, you might get some bounce, but we're in capitulation mode right now. Okay. Unfortunate, but it's what is happening. Happens a lot in the stock market. You go up in the stock market, we also go down. So Google, let's go GOGL. Google. You can see here Google also, is it downtrending or uptrending? It's not uptrending anymore. It's downtrending. So once we hit some little baby bounce, I like to call it, or a little dead cat bounce, this thing's going to pull back. And that's what's happening right now. It's not a surprise. The only surprise will be, when is it going to stop? That's the surprise. So that's dependent on FOMC, the economy, other countries, and then Google itself from a top-down view, if we go from macro to micro view. The only thing that I'm looking at is, okay, if this $82, this $83 support holds, okay, if we can hold this higher low right here at above $85, that would be beautiful for Google. Try to survive, right? If we instantly lose $83, you know the bears are going to attack that. Put options are going to attack that as hard as they can, straight into earnings, and then cover their positions way down here somewhere psychologically on an intraday chart. But if we can hold this, that'd be very nice. On the weekly, not quite oversold yet. I mean, in the RSI levels, the price has been down for quite some time now. On the H4 chart, it's building with a little bit of this double bottom oversold condition that's starting to turn around, maybe a possible triple bottom in progress right now, just like the S&P 500. If this turns out to be a true upside down head and shoulders to the upside, if we measure that, maybe 4% from the breakout, 3 to 4%, take us back up to 93. Could take, how long did that take? It could take a day. It could take several days, 3 to 4 days. But if it happens, if it might happen, it's really dependent on the intraday setups that we have. I'm not going to go too intraday right now because it's post market. Okay, let's go a couple more. Just do a couple visual now. So now that we've gone over those two stocks, you kind of understand the general psychology of why is everything going down. So Amazon, similar technical setup. It's in a downtrend. We have death cross on the weekly this month. So the big banks, the big money players, they're shorting, they're selling. There's no reason not to at this point, in terms of their shares that they're already holding. So Apple as well in the downtrend. Before we move on from Amazon, let's just look for just quick levels of support and resistance so we get some data. We can use, this is pretty fascinating for a quick case study. Amazon hit its 2020 pandemic low. This is an old setup. So what am I talking about? This $83 range. This is post-split, stock split, but there is a level of support. We're heading straight into that right now. So it's made almost a full retracement, meaning up. It went sideways for almost 2 years and then downtrend straight to the low of the pandemic low. Talk about investing whipsaw, right? Now let's get this Fibonacci here. Where are we? It's almost at 0.88, almost at 0.88. So I'm looking at $79. That's looking very interesting to me. $79. If it gets to $65, you know somebody's going to try to pick some of that up in terms of the buy, just for the value discount. Apple, let me erase this. Apple, in its double bottom zone, this is not 100% confirmed that it's going to bounce, but there's a support level. Support level right here at 129. So I'm not completely bearish in my mind. It is downtrending, but the price might wiggle around here, so to speak. Somebody might, I can imagine if I was a big short and I shorted this entire leg down, somebody already covered their position a little bit, and then the longs bulls are going to say, maybe we're going to try to fight down here in terms of bulls versus bears in the price action. So we might see a little bit of volatility occurring here in the Apple stock. Also, they had the zero COVID policy affecting them, right? There's a lot of fundamental issues of does Apple have to move more of their production from China to India factories to keep up with their demand of their products, of the production schedule. So if it's a super bearish reaction, we lose that. Okay, $116 to $100 to the downside. It's serious, but this is kind of looking like almost like, reminds me of some kind of crypto chart that's taking a very long time to fold over. That's not what people want to hear right now, but that's what it looks like, right? It's just this long fading down, kind of sideways, almost looks like a silver ETF chart from 1 year ago, where it took a really long time to go sideways or down before it found a bottom, and then you have a bounce way later. So we also have that earnings coming up in about another month. Okay, Microsoft. Let's get rid of this. But you can see Microsoft hit that 200 EMA pulling back. Let's just do a quick, where are we with this? About 50%. So the downside target is about 232, and then 238, resistance 244. All right, I'm not going to do every single stock, but we'll just take a look here on the hot list. If you're on TradingView, come in here on the right side, just click some hot lists and see what was the big mover and shaker of the day. You can see here NEO as well, following the footsteps of Tesla. NVIDIA as well, very, very strong. I was testing out the bar replay, which actually works very well on NVIDIA for practice. But NVIDIA, very, very strong. It's almost 22% to the downside. So I'm staring right here. Earlier this morning, I was looking at right at this 618 levels, saying, if it gets to 138, if it comes down here to this trend line support, 126, even 117, an extremely bad case, 108. These are all interesting levels of support. So instead of panicking, people have been contacting me a little bit regarding this. Let's not panic in the price, because what we need to do is understand when it goes downtrend and starts getting shorted, it's this going to happen. You get capitulation sell off. I'm just glad we didn't get a gap down, right? Sometimes gaps down over the overnight. So we're seeing this part of the leg right here. Copy paste that. So then what am I looking for? I'm looking for either a very oversold condition for a little long scalp. I could do a little short continuation play the next morning, or just wait. I could just wait. There's no rules that says I have to do something in the market in terms of if I have cash on hand, right? If somebody has equity, cash, or they're waiting for a discount, it's not really super discounted. It was really discounted back here on October 17. Right now, it's retraced to a 618, and it's probably going to test this trend line right here at 128 or something like that. Or if anybody wants to practice paper trading this, right? I'm looking for the turnaround. Where is it? It's not here yet. It's literally not here yet from an investor swing trader standpoint. The only thing I'm looking for is maybe there might be a upside down head and shoulders on this weekly with the slanted neckline. Maybe. That would be extremely bullish, though. That would be like 40% to the upside, and that would take us to brand new highs of 2023. That might not happen because of the supply-demand problems right now. So it's not just about technical chart setups. It's more about the fundamentals that's kind of overriding everything right now. So we're going to have to try to see where's the support levels. Is it oversold? No, it's not. It's not even oversold. So we're not going to get a very significant bounce on the daily chart yet. The intraday, it's forming. I was looking at this earlier. There is a little bit of a bullish momentum developing on this H4. Did a little bit of scalping earlier today. Very, very minor scalping, but mostly just observing for the big turnaround. Is it going to come soon? Maybe. It might not happen this week. It could happen this week, but going into 2023, let's see what happens with that. All right, I kind of went overboard on the stocks, but that's because a lot of these setups happens in crypto as well. So it's not, these price patterns is not just applying for stocks or ETFs or gold, etc., or oil. This is technical analysis, price patterns and trends that can be applied to cryptocurrencies, to Forex, to intraday trading, to swing trading, to investing. It's all just a matter of what time frame, risk management, etc. All right, let's do some crypto, and then we're going to do a little bit of bar replay at the end, because I really enjoy that bar replay and paper trading from practice. It's such a powerful tool that I believe that if somebody wants to get really serious about trading or technical analysis and charting, it's two wonderful tools that I think is underutilized. Okay, total, TOTAL, we're in the crypto section now. The big news with crypto, as I was saying earlier, is that FTX, the two executives, pleaded guilty. They pleaded guilty in a USA federal court, which means also SBF himself, the former CEO of FTX Crypto Exchange, pleaded guilty, or not pleaded guilty, but maybe he did plead guilty. It's all big blur right now, to be honest. It's just, we all know, everybody knows now that FTX criminal charges, right? Criminal charges. So it's all just kind of a moving part right now. It's in transition, it's in movement. So I don't really need to track everything that's going on with that, because right now, if I read the chart, it tells me everything I need to know. It tells me everything I need to know. I'm getting a lot of story information from this chart right now. What's going on? 750 billion is our support level. We're in this descending triangle pattern. That's not usually bullish, usually not bullish, right? We're barely hanging on to the support level down here above 727 to 760 billion. If we lose that, we're taking a bearish mindset. Bearish mindset right here, where we're barely holding above the 786. If this gets another leg down, we could have a little dead cat bounce, but if it legs down all the way to 500 or 469 billion, that would be capitulation, which we have not had yet. So some people, just the general sense I'm getting from the market right now in crypto is people are either taking a break, they quit the market, they don't want to look at it right now. I've seen articles about people saying they're never going to trust or invest in cryptocurrency again, which is a valid viewpoint. And it's the end of the year. Half of America has really bad weather right now. This is not the most highest priority right now. With raging inflation, right? So not everybody's going to dump their money into crypto, especially in a downtrend, right? So it's going to take considerable amount of patience. If somebody is a crypto investor or trader or a miner or something like that, sometimes the bear markets last 1 to 2 years. Now, from the top to the bottom, we've only been about negative 75% to the downside. In the past, it's gone lower to the lower 80s. Sometimes individual cryptos go negative 90% off. So I could definitely see this a year from now, or 6 months from now, even lower, right? Because it's in the downtrend. This thing is aiming down. The only thing that's going to survive and keep us alive in the crypto market, the price, so to speak, is the support level. If this thing holds, is there a hidden pivot here? There is pivot, but it's wide. It's a very wide pivot on the daily. That's all we need to see, right? This has a 50% range, so there is some potential that could be eventually we could get a 25 to 50% bounce. But the question is, when is it going to happen, right? Is it going to happen tomorrow? Is it going to happen 6 months from now? Is it going to happen 365 days from now, next year, right? This is the question. But what is certain is we're still in the downtrend. We have the support level that we're testing, we're holding right now. So resistance 834, support 736. Why would I spend so much time on that? Because total market cap, if I get the direction on this correct, almost every trade or investment is just easy after that. No need to stress. Bitcoin, BTC USD, very similar, but let's do it again. Bitcoin in the downtrend, still. The only thing is holding that Fibonacci support level just like total market cap. Right? If we bring it all the way back down here to the 2019, actually after this little pullback, we were holding it for when I was looking at it a few days ago, and now below. Okay. So what does that mean? Low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. What is probably going to happen? Probably another lower low. Probably. If there's no good news or there's no bullish momentum, right? That's why I'm just being very, very honest with what is the chart telling me right now. What is this chart telling me? Number one, we're in a downtrend. We're testing levels of support and resistance down here above 15,502. Right? That's the second piece of information that I have, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Now, when I look at my oscillators, are we oversold? Is there momentum building? Not really. Not really. On the weekly, there is, but we're going to have to wait for that, right? We have not had this extreme capitulation like we had in the Bitcoin Cash Civil War of late 2018. So we could possibly fall all the way down to $10,000 Bitcoin. That could mean, I'm just saying a bearish scenario, for example, that all the cryptos and altcoins will crash. And then when it gets extremely oversold and cheap, somebody's going to, when the weather gets better and when the psychology gets better and when inflation starts to go down and the price is at a low enough volume and people forget all about the bad times and things calm down, whenever that happens in the future, we might see that turnaround. So for an investor, that patience is half of the equation. So just waiting for that. If somebody's a swing trader or a day trader and wants something right now, well, better time is to look at some of the Um, market open hours, right? The Asia Open, the European Open, American Open, there's that volatility that you're probably looking for. But in terms of this chart, possibly a little 4-hour ascending triangle. If we really try to find something, where's the top of this 6%? So 17.8K is our resistance. Our support level is 16.5, 16.2, and then 16,000 itself. Still in the downtrend, however, right? Our intraday hasn't really folded to the upside. I mean, it's actually folding down to the downside, right? We have a little bit of this baby bounce this morning. Yeah, just people are on vacation, or they just don't want to deal with crypto right now, right? So that's what happens. If there's no buyers and there's no demand, the price is either going to go standstill sideways because market makers just trading within themselves, the bots, the algorithms, or the price is going to go down. All right, let's look Ethereum USD. Ethereum in a large symmetrical triangle, a little bit different than Bitcoin, but quite a large range here, about 30%. Where's the immediate support? This still holds true from last stream. Is this large blue support area down here at 1078, 1153? That's our support. It's still in the downtrend. We're looking at our EMA, still in the downtrend. On the weekly, we're trying to hold this higher low. If we zoom out to the weekly, where is that? Above 1100. If it can do it, very nice, and we could get a nice bounce, possibly going on 3 to 6 months from now. Try to get this, plant the seed for next year's harvest, so to speak. If you're an investor, at some point we're going to plant the seed and just let the trade grow. But if you're a day trader, swing trader, only during times of volatility, right? These sometimes look like bot spikes. If you trade enough crypto, this is not normal, right? This is not normal. This is just bots fighting with each other for the most part. But similar triangle, ascending triangle in this 4 hours. So if we can maintain the higher lows, there's at least a little bit of positive news, but it's tightening up right now. Sometimes this fails though, so I'm not really gonna push that. If it's not ready to go, I'm not gonna chase it. All right, let me refresh my chat. Sometimes chat doesn't refresh. We do have a request. Okay, let me do like 1 or 2 more cryptos, then we'll do requests and then some bar replay. Yeah, sometimes the live stream chat is empty and I have to manually refresh it. So hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Let's do a couple more here. Let's do Binance. Let's check out what's going on. Binance going BNB. Basically going sideways. We had our oversold reaction last week. Hit this 0.786 on the intraday and bounced. But what's the larger prevailing trend line is still under our resistance line in the blue. A little bit of momentum building on this daily. So something, a little bit of positive, still in the downtrend on this 4 hour, but at least we're seeing a little bit of something developing. Binance Coin, it's more of a symmetrical triangle. So if this 12, 10, 12% could go to the upside or downside, 272 star resistance, downside still 219. It's a very, very large range. But if we can try to get that, right? See, right now, why I'm not excited about this is we had a beautiful super oversold setup on Friday, Saturday, last 2 weeks ago, last week. But now it's kind of in this neutral middle zone. So I'm not really hyped about that, right? We kind of need some extreme moves to really confirm which way is the price going to close and hold. Couple more. Cardano still in this downtrend. See, we lost at 31 cents and now 25 cents. Psychological. The next level down is about 22 or 20 cents. So watch out for that. Let's do one more. Doge. So Doge, we had this Elon Musk pump and then try to hit the higher low. This is probably a Fibonacci bounce play. Bounced up and now it's holding that old support level. The liquidity here at 7 cents. So if we can hold that 7 cents, good. But If I look very closely, death cross on December 20. So this thing I could see more downside if just nobody cares to buy this thing for right now. 6 cents to the downside, or maybe even 5 cents. Just watch out for that, because when we have to understand that this applies for every single asset. If it's downtrending, it's more than 50% eventually going to go down. If it's uptrending more than 50%, it's probably going to go up in general. In general, this is not financial advice, but you get the idea, right? If it's going down, it's literally pointing down. So the only way it's going to reverse is for cryptos and stocks, and we got to stop dropping. We have to stop dropping. That's the key. The price needs to stop dropping, hit that higher low, 7 cents. Maybe we get a shot at 10 cents if we can hold the higher low on the weekly for several months. But is it going to happen? We need money to come back into the market. And for crypto, we need all the legal regulation issues with all the corporations and whatever negativity and bad things and criminal things happened. We need to close that and move on from that. All right. So I'll probably go about 10, 15, 20 more minutes. All right. We have Tesla and we have Netflix requests. Tesla. Is it Tesla? So somebody has a question about a short entry. So let's get the risk reward going on right now. The entry example is 108.68. Stop loss 116.30. Profit level 94.70. As a target. Okay. So if it's a 7% stop loss, the target would be more down here. Get that 2-to-1 play, 93.17. So the issue with Tesla right now is the big question is, how low is it going to go? How low is it going to go? That's up to the market to decide. But when I look at this chart, like I was saying earlier, Tesla's been shorted down negative 65% already. So we have to understand that it's already gone down negative 65%. So trying to expect it to go down at negative 25% or negative 10, 25 to 30%, it's kind of getting into a little bit of a danger zone. So this trade, again, because Elon Musk is very vocal as CEO, and he's very active, that's just his style, right? So I would say, instead of just staring at the chart, if I was trading this, I would keep I would make sure I'm watching and listening to what is Elon Musk himself doing, and what's the Tesla board doing, and what's Twitter board doing, what are the other executives thinking and saying, what's the company doing, the fundamentals, after seeing this. So like I was saying earlier, is we have the support levels for all the way back here in the 2020. Spread that 786. It is the most oversold that it has ever been. So you might get a little bounce. Are we going to get a plus 50% bounce? That's only if every single trader is going to go long, right? So I'm not expecting that to happen in 3 days. Not Wall Street bet style, right? So the overarching idea here is, okay, it's oversold range, right? It's already down in the oversold range, so it could short down more. I'm just saying it might not go all the way down to 100, 90, 80, 70 within a shorter period of time. So if it shorts down, then great. But this one, because it's been shorted down a little bit more, I would just say exercise caution, because it went down like 11% down today. So it could easily retrace 5, 6, maybe even 7% in a day or two. And so if we get that dead cat bounce like that, that would stop somebody out. So just want to watch out for that, because it's already been shorted down for a very, very long time. 40 days straight of down. That's a very long time. Just putting that idea out there. If it keeps going down, then wonderful. The short is complete. I would say maybe in this case, maybe want to have maybe one half sell target here. If that's maybe what I would do, half sell target, and then another half sell target, or 25, 25, 25, 25, whatever you want to do. It doesn't always have to be all in, all out, especially for something when it's down here. But recent price action to kind of look out for is when we just compare RSI levels, right? Where are we right now? It's about 15. So on this 4 hour, where's the last time we were in that 15 range? Right here in the late November. So we could get this bounce and then short one more time and then bounce like that. So here, maybe you might want to watch out for this. If this kind of happens to you, to this price, there will be one or two spots to maybe exit that trade if it's going to go down. If it just reverses suddenly tomorrow for 3 days, then I would probably just cancel. I would just get out of that trade. But you're free to do whatever you want. It's your account, and it's just education only. All right, let's do Netflix. Netflix request. Okay, so Netflix right now. Ever since April, May, June, July, we've had this support level bounce. Netflix has been in the uptrend, almost like a Dow Jones. It's kind of defied the NASDAQ technical space. So when we look at these the higher lows right here, it's still uptrending right now. Okay. So Netflix, the only thing I'm looking for is, are we ever going to lose the floor, so to speak, right? We had this support level. Moderate levels of support right here at 250, 248, and 272. If we ever lose this and start downtrending, you know the short's going to attack right here. There's going to be a fight right here at 275. Earnings for Netflix as well. If you're an investor, January 19th, that's only about 3.5 weeks away. It's not that far away, right? Netflix came into the gap resistance zone. So it's already in this kind of relative high zone. One second. Get my indicators back up here. It's not really super overbought or oversold. It's just kind of in the general neutral range, just pulling back with the general sentiment of the market. The weekly is starting to fold over though, right? So you can see here we had an evening star pattern on the weekly and it's starting to fold over. So it might not be over the downtrend in a longer term zone. But the 4 hour is starting to hold this 200 EMA right here, 278. So that's one level. Got some Fibonacci, a small intraday, right? That 618, 268 as well. Let me mark it in blue. So you can see visually support level, and the big support level at 250. So in terms of where was a great short entry was educational wise last 1 or 2 weeks, where this thing was way up here at the resistance up here. Resistance for shorts, sell high, buy low. So some shorts are going to exit actually. Actually, they might not open it right now. Some shorts are going to exit, right? If somebody's up 30% on a short, they already did exit one time here. You can see this. This is what that was in the price action. And then they opened up another short. And then now it's trying to see how far down can it go. On the 1 hour, it's not even that quite oversold yet. But on the very, very small intraday, it is oversold, like 5-minute, 15. I was observing that today. Just kind of waiting. Where's the next leg down? Is this support kind of level going to hold? Those are just factors that are opening up to me. But if we look at it daily, I'm staring at that right now in terms of this 271, this general area here in the price action. See if they can hold. Basically, would that dip hold on Netflix or no? That's the case. So if it doesn't hold, it probably reject down, test it one time to like a 285 and then pull back down to 200. Also, this could be some cup and handle play, right? So if this thing retraces down the textbook, something like 30%, whatever that is, then you might get the uptrend later, but maybe after earnings. So earnings is coming up. So just kind of be careful of that January 19th. All right, let's go ahead and do a couple bar replay examples, and then we are going to I'm going to sign off for today. So let's look at this S&P 500, and I usually only do about one request per person. So let's do the bar replay. I think this is better education than just talking about it. So you can see here, if you have a free account, I believe you can at least access day charts, and this is beautiful, right? In the bar replay. So this is how you practice. You click bar replay. You first type in your stock or your crypto, or your Forex, whatever you want. I'm gonna type in the S&P 500 for practice, right? ETF. Click daily time frame. And then I'm going to click bar replay. And then on the screen, you're going to select your date that you want. And since we're in a day chart, each bar is 1 day. I'm going to go back all the way to the beginning of 2022. Let's go to the first trading day, January 3rd, like this. And now you have to be very careful because you have to remember and understand that we're looking at old data. This is not the new data. It's 2022. Now, what changed is there are controls down here that you could see. You could jump to a previous time date. You could just play. You could fast forward a certain number of bars. You replay speed. You could go slow, normal, or fast. Let's keep it at 1 times. Or you could just jump to today's date, real time. Now, these are the buttons that they're talking about. You could sell 1 unit to go short. It's just automatic market execution. Or so you could sell 1 unit to go short. You could buy 1 unit to go short. This is paper trading for bar replay only. This has nothing to do with the actual paper trading. It's 2 separate modules. Or you can flatten to close the position. So this is a very good practice. So how I would use this tool, and I would recommend it, this is education, is on the left side here of TradingView, you have down here, you have your long position and short position tools. This is where I would start to practice and get people started on 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio plays. So if this is a stop loss, this is a short example, stop loss of going 3% on small, medium amount of capital with a 6% target, and then you play. So this is my trade. I'm saying, okay, on this candle or one of these candles, I'm going to enter here. This is my stop loss level that on this example, on this example has to be mental stop loss. And then my profit target's down here. It makes sense because the profit target's the support level. And if I bring in some indicators, I'm thinking, okay, 4 hour, it's not quite oversold right now. It's not quite overbought. On the weekly though, it's kind of in this high zone. So let me open up a short position with some of that and just let it go. For speed, we're going to go 3 times. Let's see. Let's stop. Okay. Oh, I didn't buy. So let me rewind. That's the one thing with bar replay. You have to manually buy your position. Okay. So you have to play and then buy. So I'm going to buy right away. And then now you see it activated. Right. So then and then I'm going to close my position. It's I'm doing it 3 times faster for sake of time, but you can see what happened. I bought here 1 unit automatically market share price for practice at 470. And it was actually going sideways on a resistance. Okay. And then it went lower high, lower low, back to my entry point. There's another spot to enter the short. Boom, hit it down. It took many days though. It took like 2 weeks. But this swing trading took 2 weeks. And then shorts are going to start to close here and maybe another leg down. But still, right, in terms of the profit, excuse me, I think I did that backwards. But it would have been $45 profit. So let me do another example. I think maybe I bought first and then I sold. So in this particular example, it's supposed to be sell buy. So let me redo that so you actually see what's going on. Let me cancel that. Go all the way back to 2022. I want to give you guys clean examples, right? So if we're doing the same example in the short, right? So we're going short, so we're going to sell, right? And then once we hit the profit target, okay, I'm just going to instantly buy. So there's that, right? And then once you're done, when you go to real time, then you get this summary panel at the end. It's very, very simple. It's just 1 unit and you can go sell short or you can buy long. But basically, it's an extremely powerful tool because before, if you wanted to practice stocks, you had to do it during the daytime, right? And so some people have work or they have whatever they're doing, school or work, and they can't always be in the market to practice. And this is a perfect way to practice, right? Right now, it's late at night for me. or for New York Eastern time. And this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. I love that you can also go on crypto as well. Let's try crypto. You might have to stick to USD. And let's see here. Let's use something. Let's just crack in. For example, erase everything. I'm on the daily, and let's say I want to practice like here. Okay. So let's say I was long biased. Okay. Long biased. Let's say like a general swing trade of 2 to 1. So like a 5% risk to a 10%. And I know some background noise came back when something changed on my audio settings, but we'll just keep pushing through here. But so let's practice this. We went all the way back to March 2022. And so I'm expecting here, it's getting to that overbought range. I'm not expecting to go long here. I'm expecting to wait for this thing to pull back a little bit. So let's kind of play. All right. It's pulling back. It's pulling back. Okay. I could have entered if I wanted to, but I believe because it's still downtrending, it's probably going to go down even more. Let's get into that zone. Ooh, then you get a big capitulation sell-off. Big sell-off. So now, this is what I'm talking about. I'm getting a little interested. Let's see exactly. Let's say, because you have a downtrend, you have a nice big hammer candle. Let me just buy right here and see what happens. Is it going to hold? Is it going to hold? It barely almost hit my profit target right there. So on this particular day, it got changed. So I actually did hit my target. So 10%, 12%, I probably would have exited there, especially because there was a shooting star, right? So I entered on this hammer candle on a daily and I exited on the shooting star, evening star pattern, right? But let's just pretend I missed that in a real world example and just let it go, right? So there's an example where if I don't take my profit on a bear market low dead cat bounce, look at what happens, right? Look at what happens. That's why it's very, very important to practice, set those targets. Set those targets. I'm showing what happens in like the real world of trading, right? This is not cherry picked perfect trade examples, right? This is, you just open your console, your chart, and you practice and see what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? You see a chart, what are you going to do? Are you going to buy, hold, or sell? What are you going to do? You're going to go long, you're going to go short. That's the skills of trading. Charting is a different skill, right? So if I entered here, if I was disciplined, this is just an educational example. The 10% was here, right? 31,334. My stop loss was the 5% down here, about 26,895. So in real world scenario, I would have sold this thing way here. I would have put my stop loss here and immediately exit that position. So let me show you a different example. So there's two examples. Somebody could have sold here, but if they got stopped out, then they got stopped out, right? So we move on. So we're showing both the profit side and the loss side, right? Now this thing's going down. Okay, fighting a little bit on the daily chart, a little bit of dead cat bounce. Interesting setup. See, it's probably going to reject him if it pierces. It's okay. Let me see where this thing goes. Right? All right. So now I could see, okay, there's a little bit higher low action. So somebody could try to chase a little bit this last part of this long scalp. Might have to put a stop loss here under, and let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. On an educational example, this perfect practice, right? Even if somebody's late to this shooting star, it's not really a good entry point. Let's just practice, see what happens. Bye. It's still holding my old position. Let it ride. Okay. In this particular example, because right here, it's still at 20%, probably would have exited right here about 25,000, right? So even here in that weird example, even if it got shorted down on me, if it got stopped out, or if I didn't sell it, still hit that break even on this first trade, and this trade still hit that profit target, right? Still down on this particular trade. Let's keep going here. This is like really interesting practice, right? Of just somebody jumping in to crypto chart and just going, right? In terms of the educational example for speed, right? Let's keep going here. Still in the downtrend. Still in the downtrend. Usually I would probably use a oscillators right here to get into this, but probably would have entered personally somewhere down here. But for example, let's say, oh, somebody just saw it 3 days later. Oh, interesting. See if we could get a 2-to-1 play. So honestly, though, these buttons are kind of strange, though, but it is what it is. But goodbye. Ooh, that particular trade got stopped out. And so it's interesting education to see why does somebody not want to chase? Because on an intraday, that was way overbought. And we're in the downtrend, right? So I don't even care about this P&L. It's more about the education, right? Of where, that's why for me, my entry points, you don't see me trading like a crazy person on like 50 times a week or 50 times a day, because I'm very selective with my entries, right? I'm not going to do random entries. I want the lowest price for a long. I want the highest price possible for a short. So this is just, I'm trying to go 5 times faster right now, but you kind of get the idea of that patience part. So actually, let me slow this thing down a little bit for that price action to go. Little hammer candle. This is good play by play, right? Little shooting star at the bottom there, getting rejected by that EMA a little bit. This is just kind of bot straining right now, but going sideways. But I like the fact that it's still going right now. I'm just going to buy right now because it's going sideways, holding this little bit of support. Now it's going to float around in there. It might not hit the full retracement of a 2-to-1 target, but if it does on this particular trade, I would sell and get out of there. So I would probably, on that candle, right when it gapped up, right here, you just get out of the trade. You just sell, right? So again, this is not a perfect console because it doesn't close the old positions. So you have to just like manually remember that. So still, paper trading on the crypto side, I would actually recommend the paper trading, but then for stocks, I would recommend the bar replay. Because on paper trading, it actually shows you what position is still open and stuff, so you don't have to really remember it because this particular position is still open. So let's just X all this. Let's do another example. Let me somebody asked for NVIDIA, right? So let's look at NVIDIA. I'm gonna do an old example of NVIDIA. Right. Just gonna try to do this bar replay like really fast. Just back up. I don't even try not to remember what's on the screen. We're going back to all the way 2021, right? On this day chart. I love practicing like this. So good. So now we know we're in this uptrend. Right? We're in this uptrend. We're testing this 200 EMA. Okay, well, we know the resistance right here at 156. We know we have a support level 115. So if it breaks out above 153 or 154, there might be a potential long breakout setup. Potential long breakout setup. So let's see if that's going to be true. The two places I would be very interested in probably purchasing some NVIDIA in the past. Maybe if we get that breakout, maybe if we get one down here, it's good to plan before executing trades. Let's see, 2020, somewhere here. Maybe it is 50% of the 618 range if someone's going for deep value like this. So let's just see which way the price goes. What's our price action telling me? All right, we get a little bounce up. Just barely broke out, but we hit that double top here, so it looks like it's going to fold down. And sometimes it's not good to just enter only on a day chart alone, but you get the idea. I'm just watching the price. Okay. So short's attacking. It's going to go straight into earnings on this particular day. Short's attacking. Going sideways. Okay. Short's covering their positions. We have earnings. Back to that potential entry spot. But okay. On the earnings, let's say there's a post-earnings play, and it could be a double top right here as well on the 162, but let's just pretend right now you're going to buy one. Not the perfect buy spot. I would actually buy a little lower right down here, but I'm saying let's just pretend. Educational purposes, and let it run. See if it's going to hit the profit target or not. I don't even care about the P&L right now. I'm more looking at my entry, my stop loss. Writing that EMA. Okay, hit the profit target on this particular day on 188. It's probably better to use the flatten button to close positions. Flatten, right? That'll flip it, right? And there's that 1 unit of profit. It's a very small amount because it's 1 unit. And but there is that particular 20% profit. That's actually a lot of profit in percentage wise. So it would be cool to see if this in a percentage. It probably shows it at the end, I think. But there's that example trade, right? So where do we buy? 162.41 and exit at 186. So it's probably better to do this at a slower speed than trying to do it at triple or 10 times speed. But what's next? Okay, well, that trade's over for a swing trade. So now it's still riding this EMA on the way up. I try not to remember the price history. Losing a little bit of momentum. We're in this overbought range. So maybe we might expect a little bit of a pullback somewhere here when it gets overextended to the top side. The way top side, right? So this is just an arbitrary 5 to 10 setup. It would be much more calculated if I did it in real life. But let's go next trade and see here. Where might we get a little bit of a resistance level? Still riding the EMA to the upside. Looks like it's all-time highs. Every day it's going up. But right here, there's a little bit suspicious. Is this our first lower high? So just because that's a maybe, I'm going to enter in at that $200 range on a swing trade. Maybe this is our lower high, so maybe we might get a pullback down, right? So let me go ahead and sell short and then start. It's probably better to sell your position. Okay, so we get that 3 black crows down right in a row. So that was just looking at where am I going to enter? Okay. So sometimes even me personally, I'm a little too early on shorts. So that's why sometimes you just wait for a little bit of a weak spot and then attack, right? If you're short, just attack. And then really literally 3 days, hit the profit target. I'm just going to buy them a flattened position, done. And then you made an additional, what was that? That's 10%. Very nice trade, right? It looks easy, but to do that correctly a lot, it takes a considerable amount of patience, because how many days was that? That was like that's a week of waiting. Somebody has to sit on their hands for 7 days as a swing trader, or just watch it to let it happen, right? But it's perfect practice. Okay, let's go to crypto. So now, after using this tool for many times now, it's probably better to just use it at 1 time speed, enter the position, like freeze it on the candle you want to open, buy long or sell short, and then start it. Because if you start it and then try to do it, it's more like 1 minute day trading kind of feeling. And then if you want to close the position, just flatten instead of selling and buying. So now it's a little bit different than the paper trading, the order, the usual order here, because I like that. In the paper trading, you could set your entry price, right? Your entry price, your take profit level, and your stop loss. So technically, paper trading is the more, I'm going to say, better habit forming of practice, because you're doing your entry. You're actually doing this, the actual the actual risk to reward ratio, you're actually setting in the panel on the left side your entry spot, your stop loss over here. So it would be 172.51. It's extremely important to have this practice. So doing the bar replay is more just kind of like just to see recent price action for fun. But this is the real way to practice, right? You get this going on. You could do one unit, buy market, and then execute that during market hours when it's open. You could practice this paper trading on crypto, and it works very, very well. So it's really good habit to have a stop loss and take profit. This is more, bar replay is more just for like quick and for very, very recent data, or for after market hours for stocks. But I still love it because it's very, very useful. Very, very useful for aftermarket, because you just couldn't do that before. You had to manually type it or just do it with your eyes. So let's even try it on some day trading. I know a lot of people left and nobody cares about this, but this is what separates literally good traders from, maybe less profitable or beginner traders, or from the pros. Is the pros, they have a lot. I would say advanced professionals, some of my mentors, they have a lot of screen time. They have a lot of practice time, a lot of paper trading time. They know exactly what setups they're going to buy and sell, and then just stick to that. There's no guesswork. There's no feeling. It's more of just, they know exactly what price pattern, setup, technical they're going to run, and they execute that, and they log it down in their systems, right? So here, let's go to NVIDIA again, and this is today's data. So let me just rewind a little bit. Rewind a little bit. So I'm trying to not remember the price action, close my eyes, and just play it by how I see it, right? The 5-minute, okay, so if I'm in day trader mode, all right, this symmetrical triangle is going sideways here. Okay, what's the volatility range? Like a plus or minus 4%. So we already hit that 4% first target. The second target would be 8% down here at 138, right? Is this today? Yeah, it's today. No, we need to rewind even further. Bar replay, way back. Let's go. Way back here. Just somewhere, just way back here. And just close my eyes. All right. Now it's December 12th. Okay, so try not to remember what's happening, but this is beautiful practice. Let's just say I open the chart on 15-minute NVIDIA or wherever I'm looking at, and this is what I'm staring at. Okay, first thing is, all right, still uptrending. We've got the trend line on the downside here. We have the resistance on the top side. If I zoom out to my daily, all right, it's kind of overextended right here a little bit. Starting to lose momentum here on this MACD, the 4-hour, losing momentum. Double top here on this RSI, hitting that resistance range, still up cross on the EMA. I zoom into a 1-hour, losing that momentum. So maybe somewhere up here, you might see a little bit of short action. So are the dips going to hold? Let's see and find out, and then we'll try to trade that accordingly. Practice for bar replay. So let me go and start the bar replay. Let me get my long position tool out here. Let's get a general, we could do like a 3 to 6% RR for a long side. And then on the short side, we'll do that as well. And then from earlier example, it's probably good to not really mix the positions too much because it's not really the paper trading console. So I'll just focus on long side for the first couple trades, because it's still uptrending, right? It's still uptrending. It's signs are pointing up. It's just a matter of, okay, well, how far up is it going to go? So bar replay on. See if we get that bounce. We're going to get resistance breakout or no. Oh, we get a gap up. Okay. So then somebody could buy this a little bit chasing, right? Because I would enter in way back here, not up here. I don't really play breakouts as much as I used to, because we're in a downtrend right now. But if it's going to be for educational, let's just say, because somebody might want to do this someday or do this style and see what happens. Sometimes it doesn't work. So let's try to buy it in just one unit and see what happens. We're going to get the continuation. We did, but that's in the pre-market, so I'm not going to count that one. Will this trade get stopped out? It's fading back down. We're testing. Looks like it's gonna fading down. Looks like we're gonna lose it. Oh, the bull's trying very hard to keep it alive, and it's gonna be a stop out on this particular trade, which is why I don't like to chase, right? So that's perfect example right there of why do I not chase breakouts? Literally the past 2 minutes. Because it's already in the overbought range. If I zoomed in on like a 15-minute or something like that, it's way, way overbought with the head and shoulders, and then it's going to stop out. So it's good to practice that and understand why do you never hear me say I'm going to just chase, I'm going to enter on this breakout? Because I've experienced that many times, many times. So as a long, remember, we want to buy low and sell high in general, right? So I don't really want to enter up here, to be honest. I like entering down here on areas of value. Areas of value, buy low, sell high, right? So this was a better short opportunity because you're up so high and then it got really overbought, overextended, and then it pulled back down. Okay. So then we have this particular little small parallel channel. So as a long, again, I would like to enter in some kind of dip wherever it's going to be, right? So the short example, we sell the rips, buy the dips, right? So I'm looking for the next dip opportunity. It's getting close, but I'm going to let it go. I'm going to just flatten this trade and just cancel all the trades. Flatten it and just get out of there. So I'm going to particularly just wait for a little bit. So let it run. Wonderful short opportunity. Well, there's a second entry point on that pre-market. I'm on a 15-minute right now. Let's go to 5-minute. All right, let's get into the zone. The oversold zone. Still shorting down. We've got to really look at the candles, zoom in really close here. This is kind of like what happened today, but this is like 2 weeks ago. A little bit of this momentum forming. Okay. For a little day trade, let's do a very little tight stop loss, a little 2% target. See if we get this. Let's just see. Is this one going to fire or not on a 5-minute? A little bit of fight. I didn't get stopped out. Almost did. Let the trade go. RSI momentum is building a little bit. Let it run. Holding above the EMA. You might not be able to see it on your screen. This a little bit risky, right? Just bought it because of the oscillator setup and it's so low here. But in terms of, are we going to get a rip to the upside? It didn't happen on this particular trade. But if someone only wanted to do a 1% profit target, it would have been here at 170. 2% target, probably at 172. But let's just let it go. I want to see what happens. Will it reject down from the EMAs? It's hesitating. We didn't get stopped out yet. Potential higher low, double bottom, EMA up cross, let it go, wait for it, wait for it. EMA up cross, wait for it, see if we get the 2%. And you see now, so for me, what I would have done in this particular day trade is while this is, so I caught this, right? I did not get scared or shaken out, just let it go. This is textbook day trading, right? Hit this, okay, hit the 1 minute or 30-second overbought range, let it pull back. We hit this double bottom right here, higher low, okay, W, nice, double bottom. I could have added more to the position, but I'm only doing 1 unit right now, 1.35%. If that's 1.35% is basically my profit target, but I would have changed my stop loss from down here to way up here. So now I'm locked into my profit. So I have a mental stop loss of like 170. Let me just write that into the line right here. And let it rip. So if it goes to 170, I'm just going to close the trade. But if it hits my target, profit target 172, I'm also going to close the trade. Okay, so I would have closed right there for about half the profit, but still decent trade, right? In real life, I would have entered on a different spot. So I entered here and I would have waited. I would have entered probably twice on that. So I get double and then I would have sold here. But it's not a perfect example on this paper trading. But it's still beautiful to be able to get the bar replay and just get the markers on the screen, right? And just get the practice to think about it. Let's keep going here. So this P&L is not actually correct, but let's keep moving here. So this should have been a profitable trade, but for whatever reason, I sold it on the downtick candle, but I would have had a stop loss there, so that would have sold in profit in real life. All right, so now we're in the post market. It's going to be super delayed data. All right, so post market we had a gap down. We're testing this 166 range. Little fight in the morning there. So bulls on this particular day, they wanted to get that bounce up. Now rejected. So this is a lower low. All right. So possibly if we're gonna lose the support, this is the next day. It's a brand new setup. So I probably would have shorted up here on this rejection on the downside if I was day trading this, shorted, and I would have actually taken my profit here. But this is a bar replay. So let's see what happens if you actually short it way lower, like way late. So you might get stopped out, but in this particular case, because I know it's downtrending, hit the lower high right here, resistance. Now let's see if we get a support breakout. So this a breakdown. So sometimes this happens, but sometimes it doesn't. But let's see if it does. So I'm going to sell that and let it go. All right. So in 3 candles, flat into position, close it, and that should technically be a profitable trade. But basically, so these two should have been profitable. I don't know why it must be doing something on the back end. In terms of it's not actually, I'm not actually buying and selling at the exact spot, but you get what I'm saying, right? In real life, these would have been 2 profitable trades. Could have left it, right? But for discipline, I'm going to close it, the trade. So let it go. So next, I'm watching. We hit that lower high. We might get a little bit of a dead cat bounce. See if it gets rejected one more time. A little bounce going on. Okay. All right. So I'm going to open up another short position. Just open that up right here and set my stop loss up here. See if it's going to hit more downside. It's hesitating under the EMA. Still hesitating. Get a little bit of bearish breakdown. What time is it? It's right before lunchtime, New York, and it's gonna fade down. Take some time on the bar replay. Just relax for a little bit. Now people are back from lunch. 40 minutes. This is a little bit concerning though. This higher low pattern, right? So I am in a little bit of profit right now, but if it's gonna flip around on me, I'm just gonna close the position. I could move the stop loss down and I might initiate a long position, because if it holds the higher low here, then you might get that higher high bounce up to 167, and then it's gonna turn to a long and potentially a long trade. So let's just see, right? If that theory is gonna come true, flatten the position. So take a little bit of that profit and flip. I don't want to flip too much, because you just get lose profit on the spread side. But I'll do a much tighter stop loss right under here and see if this is gonna flip long. It might not. We just had that sim triangle, so now there's that breakout. So from what the pattern I'm looking at right here, there was a little symmetrical triangle forming. Almost turned into a descending triangle. The little symmetrical triangle, the 1% to the upside. Let's see if we get that to the upside. Is it gonna hold or not? I'm committing to my stop loss down here, 164.38. My profit target is 167.13. Boom, hit it right there. So I'm out on the trade. So then I would sell, I flatten. This is supposed to be, those are 3 profitable trades. So this tool is definitely helpful. I would say bar replay is helpful for day trading, just for the, again, for the newer bar data. But if you're in the market, if you're awake and you're in the market in your time zone, I would recommend the paper trading, because you could actually set your triple orders and then just let it go. You know what I mean? It's a better practice tool. But I still, again, I love the bar replay, because then you could just figure out, the 1.3%. Did we hit that one, almost that 0.3%? So maybe the VWAP, it might have reverted back to 167 or something. Let's add a VWAP up here just to get that up. Where's VWAP? Yep. So the top line of that, right? We hit the bottom VWAP to the top VWAP. So then it might go a little bit. Here's like maybe one more time. Yeah, right there. And then so definitely second chance to get out of that trade. So definitely I would have closed that trade out for profit, not staying in there anymore, right? So again, let me end here. Very interesting to play around with that bar replay tool. Okay. And again, I'm not cherry picking perfect examples, because this happens in real life. Sometimes the trades go, you open up the chart and the trade is already done. Sometimes it's already done like that, the day trade. Sometimes you wake up and it's about to happen. Sometimes you open up a chart and there's no setup. Sometimes you open up and it's extreme volatility. Sometimes you open up the chart, on some days it's just a little baby volatility, right? It's just, that's the market. But the bar replay tool, extremely important, right? We opened up position here, we sell in this range. We identify a potential turnaround spot without even using the VWAP, saying, oh, interesting higher low spot. Maybe, like, remember my psychology is opened up the short position here or wherever it was, and I might not really go to hit my profit target. So I'm already up in a little bit, a couple cents of profit, and take that profit and lock it down, right? So I'm not really letting the price just wiggle around on me. It's just really disciplined 2 to 1 or 1.5 to 1 trading, even on the small scale, and execute on the long side or on the short side. Right? Short side is way more dangerous, because obviously, if you understand margin trading, you can have 2 to 4 times more losses because of what's happening depending on the margin count size. So whenever I short, I size down a lot. I try to size down a lot. Long trades, those are typically normal. This should have been this way, right? 1%, 2 to 1, right? So where do we buy on that? Identify that spot, get this higher low, and then we get a little breakout. Identify that sim triangle. See the higher low. Okay, we get the up cross. Beautiful. Where's the target? The exit here. Boom, you're out. Day trade's done. So, wonderful tool to practice. If you are just signing on right now and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm just talking about practice tools and paper trading and bar replay. Wonderful tool to practice. I literally want to just keep practicing for like an hour, but I have to sign off. I'm not going to do that to you guys on the stream. But invaluable tool. And now if you fast forward, you can see here, even on the day chart, now I'm on a day chart. The last thing I'll say about NVIDIA is it did lose this. We lost this. I was looking at this earlier today, right? This is the key. The little gap up island up here, the exhaustion island up here, exhaustion island, and pull back. But again, we're near the 618. We're near the 618. So in terms of what it's looking like this data back in September, right? September, right here. So if it doesn't really bottom out and hold and bounce, I mean, you could just keep going to the downside. The only thing is NVIDIA has some bad news. And also a little bit of this 1 hour bullish divergence is showing up. So see if we can get this going on. There's no bar replay data for this because this is the latest data. But, if it holds here, you might get something like this position. But again, even in the last MACD, it wasn't a very significant bounce. It was pretty small, like a 5% or a like 4% bounce. So not really perfect trades here. But again, Nvidia, same thing with Tesla is it's down 25%. So any short who's down 25% right now, I mean, profit 25% right now, probably wants to take some of that profit. Their stop loss, they're going to move that way down, right? They're going to move that way down right now. So wherever it is, the entry point here on the high or low, to try to pick that up, wherever that's going to be, right? We had a little bit of fake out here, but the news is so bad right now that it's not going to really do that. But low, high, try to get this lower low, and then try maybe someone could try to catch that lower high bounce if they're going to really try to do that. But you know, the prevailing trend is down on the hourly. It's still down right now, and it's riding that VWAP down. We open a Bollinger Band. It's riding that Bollinger Band down. It's downtrending right now. So whenever it's going to bounce to the upside someday, but it might not be this week. If it happens this week, great. But if it doesn't, you have to be patient for that. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for watching and following and chatting, and for today and for this whole year. This is the last live stream of 2022. I shared just 40 minutes of extra practice, education, a little bit of strategy right there and thought process of day trading and swing trading, and using some of these bar replay and paper trading tools in real time, right? In real time. And I'm very grateful to TradingView for adding these tools. And thanks so much for watching and following. This stream, I will probably stream. Let's see when the next stream will be. We have New Year's holiday. So probably either on January 3rd or January 4th, Tuesday or Wednesday of next week is when I'll return for stock chart and crypto chart TA analysis. Okay, everyone. So thank you so much. If you have a question, just go ahead and drop a comment in YouTube or in my Discord, and I'll cover it for the next stream. Until next time, let's try to stay safe and stay strong out there. And we're entering into a new year, so try to enter into it strong. And let's have a good one. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.